Hey there, how are you doing? It is Sanae Floyd here, business breakthrough coach and sales mentor. And in this video, I want to talk to you about a very simple money manifestation practice that will help accelerate your manifestations, your money manifestations. So if you are doing your daily practices towards achieving your big income goal, which I hope you are, things like visualizing, affirmations, printing off your bank statement, whiting out the balance and putting in the new balance that you want to see in there and having that on your wall, and really coming from a place of it is done. So I was just talking with a client about this, and she was saying, I'm focusing on the money is coming. I'm focusing on my desire and that I want this amount of money in my bank account. And so we were talking about just switching that up to actually assuming that it's already done, not that it's a desire or a want, because that keeps your money goals in the future, but you want to assume the state of it already being done. Act as if, the saying, act as if. So really assuming that state of being. So in this conversation with my client, she raised a really good question, kind of got me all excited, because I knew what she was talking about in terms of I've been in that position and this is what I did to overcome it. So we were talking about printing off a bank statement and whiting out the actual balance, putting in the balance of the amount you want it to see in there instead, and putting it on the wall, so that every day you're looking at it, you're kind of constantly, it's like a little pipette in your subconscious mind, like drip, drip, dripping in this new level of wealth and normality in your bank account. And she said, I understand that, that's great, I'm definitely going to do that. However, that's, when I look at the bank statement, I'm going to feel this level of reality because my body is going to be immersed and subconscious mind doesn't know the difference, all of that good stuff. She said, however, but when I look at my real 3D bank balance, or I'm making a payment and I see that my reality, my 3D reality is not at that level, it's lowly, it's frustrating, it's lackful, it's in scarcity, then all of a sudden my vibration drops. I feel a bit shitty, I feel frustrated and impatient, and I start to think, what's the point? I'm not there yet. Am I kidding myself? Who am I kidding here? So that experience was something that really resonated with me, because a big part of my experience and a big part of kind of my story, I guess, is that I was in debt for many, many years. So debt was like my nemesis. I was in debt for 23 years and I tried everything, no matter what repayment strategy or budgeting app there was out there. I was like a yo-yo dieter. I would pay off some of that debt and very quickly I would bounce back up into debt, constantly self-sabotaging. So I was in so much shame. I didn't know, I thought, God, what is wrong with me? Why can't I pay off this debt? So anyway, one of the things when I made the decision to, like the real decision to get out of debt, and I set myself a goal that I would be debt-free in 6 months, one of the things I kind of struggled with was the whole idea that you read about in, money manifestation books of, when you look at your bank statement, you've got to feel grateful for the money that is in there, however low the balance. Just be so grateful that there is money in there, no matter the balance. Now, I struggled with this because my balance was always overdrawn. So I had a £3,500 overdraft and I lived in it. Very infrequently, I would just plop over and be in the black, but most of the time I spent my life in the red, in the overdraft. So I struggled with, well, how can I look at my bank statement and flood myself with gratitude for what money is in there, because it's not my money. It's loaned money, it's debit. I'm borrowing, I'm living on credit. So I did a bit more research and I discovered this process called spiritual shape shifting. And I learned it from Michael Beckwith, Reverend Michael Beckwith. And the process was basically, and this, I cannot tell you how powerful this was. The process was every single day I set myself an alarm, 8 a.m. And at 8 a.m., my intention was that at that time I would log into my bank account. So this was part of my process for getting out of debt, was to be very intentional on actually facing my money situation every single day and being, conscious about how I was around money. So every single day I set an alarm that at that time, 8 o'clock in the morning, I would log into my bank account and look at it. But just before I did that, I would flood my body with the frequency, with the sensations, the feelings and emotions around abundance. So how I did that was I found out, instead of looking at money as being the source of abundance, I looked at other areas where I could genuinely feel abundant, because I didn't feel abundant around money. So I would think about the abundance of love and support that I have in my family, for example, or the friends I have. Like, oh, when I basked in my friendships and the love and support I have in my friendships, I felt truly abundant. Or I would think about the food in the supermarket, like how many shelves and shelves and racks of food. There's so much abundance of food in the supermarkets near where I live, and how fortunate I am that I have access to all of this abundance of food. Then I would flood my system with that. Or think about the abundance in nature. So I would flood my system with the frequency of abundance. When I'm in that state, I would then log on to my account and I would look at my bank account. And I would be in that abundant state and I'd be looking at my bank account. And then as I felt, maybe my frequency would drop a little bit as I looked at my bank account, so I would log out. And I would just come back to the abundance and get on with my day. And I did that every single day. And within 30 days, I'd created a new neural association in my brain that sounded and looked like abundance bank account, abundance bank account. So by the time I got to about 30 days, when I logged into my bank account, I felt naturally abundant. And I kid you not, as I looked at my bank account every single day from the state of abundance, my bank account started to change. I was starting to receive more money that was enabling me to slowly crawl my way out of my overdraft within no time at all. I was able to cancel the overdraft. I contacted the bank. I'm in credit now. Can we cancel the overdraft? And now I live in the black. I do not have an overdraft facility, and I have never had to have an overdraft facility on my bank account. And so this is called spiritual shape shifting. Get into the state and then look at your bank balance. And it's about changing your relationship that you have to the money in your bank account, to your bank balances, because that fear and that scarcity and that lack and that charge of anxiety you have every time you look at your bank statement, it's a conditioning. It was how you were taught to see your bank account and the balance that's in there. And so that's what perpetuates your low bank account. So you change your state, you change your frequency, your thought patterns around it, everything will change. So just try it for 30 days. And just notice how you start to change how you feel, which then changes your behavior, which then in turn changes your results. So powerful. So I'm grateful to my client for reminding me of this really powerful technique, so I can share it with you today. So have an amazing rest of your day. If you've got comments or questions, please put them below this video. I'd love to hear from you. And if you've got your own tips for accelerating the money manifestation processes, then please, I'd love to hear from you. All right. Thank you so much. I'll speak to you soon.